Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. As today is the first full official day of IAE, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo in Star Citizen. Before I jump in game and I think I may actually try streaming and see how bad it looks. And if not, then I'll have to just record and then post later. But yesterday we got the uh, behind the ships for the Perseus, and of course, a welcome to Nick's trailer as Nick's was dropped yesterday. But again, like I said, with today being the first day of IAE and specifically RSI, of course, the Perseus is for sale for everyone and is in the hall, and it should be able to be rented, I believe. Um, Along with other ships as well. So actually, similar to the videos they released yesterday and I posted, we have a behind the scenes for the Salvation, the starter salvager, that was also released today, as well as an actual ship commercial for the Perseus. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Starter ships are important because they are the entryway into a career that you may not necessarily have thought you want to play. So having them be this low-cost entry point allows you to try more game loops and gameplay styles. Starter ships are also important to have a sense of progression through the ship lineup. You need that entry point and then progressions into more advanced and expansive ships throughout that universe. We're proud to introduce the entry-level salvage ship, the RSI Salvation.
All right, here we go.
The RSI Salvation is a new salvage starter from the manufacturer RSI. It's the first ship off the production line for that profession in the game.
The Salvation is for those players who want to get into the salvage career, or those who are sort of being curious about it but wanted an easy way into that loop. This allows you to access the new RMC and salvage changes very easily.
RSI Salvation is a beautiful, compact solo ship.
Definitely a good way of getting your foot in the door if you want to do a bit of salvaging. But you don't want a big boy like the Reclaimer because it's way too big and you need lots of people. Or you want a bit more reliability than the Vulture because it's Drake. Drake's not reliable. I love Drake, but it's not.
Oh, I know my brothers.
It's a very
not
small,
like that.
purpose-built ship. We wanted it to look strong, but quite stubby. It was a balance between making it feel industrial, feel functional, and strong. So when you first look at it, the first thing you're going to notice is these structural elements that are like an external roll cage that wrap around either side of the ship, and they're kind of cocooning all the functional bits. On either side, we've got these fins that open up, so when you go into salvage mode, there's like somewhere for it to like release its energy, release its heat that it's not needing.
And you've got a big tank that processes all the material to then squish it into the crates.
It's a single-seater, you get in through the front of it, you deploy your salvage arms and they just pop out either side of you, and you get great visibility of both what you're trying to salvage, but also the mechanisms that are doing the salvaging for you.
Salvage generally starts with the scraping of the hull, and the Salvation comes with a pair of bespoke salvage scrapers.
And then there's little grills on those arms which do the fracturing. And inside of those arms you've got the bit that does the fracturing and the disintegrating.
We wanted the player to know kind of what modes they're in. So when you're in scraping mode or fracturing mode, we've got these beams and glows down either side just to let you know what's going on. And then round the rear of the ship, it's all dedicated to the salvage space.
Once you've scraped the hull, you can then fracture the hull, and the salvage has a built-in auto loader which provides the crates,
which is cool,
the goods, and then exports them onto the exterior of the ship.
It's 6 SCU grid at the rear, and that just holds your individual containers of salvage material.
It comes with 2 weapons to protect you in your missions. It also has a weapon rack and utility rack, so you will be ready for any threats in your job.
The paints are very pretty. RSI is a lot more refined in its style. It wants you to feel more luxurious with doing mundane, different tasks. So they took an industrial role and they went, hey, let's make it look cool.
It's very built for function.
You simply just get in it, go do the salvage mission. There's no onboard amenities like a bed. You do the salvage and then you come back. Very happy with how the salvation turned out. It's a lot of ship in a small package.
It treads that line between being, it feels strong, it feels tough, it's still quite cute. At least in my opinion, it's quite cute. I think it's like a nice little ship.
I really like this ship because I pay lots of time to create lots of detail on it. So yeah, I really like this ship. This is my best job. For now.
He just looks like a little disc that wants to hug you. With his little arms.
Give Salvage a hug. Okay, so first, as it's meant to be, like I said, obviously it reminds me a lot of the Golem, which you see right there at the beginning, because it's a starter ship. Again, we had the Golem, which is starter mining. We had the Hull A, which is starter hauling. And then you had the Avenger, which I guess, starter versatile, again, depending if you have the base Titan, yeah, you got a little room for cargo, but, you got your weapons and whatnot and all that. And then, of course, this is for starting as far as salvage, which, let's see, okay, again. So, yeah, the Avenger, the Titan is Aegis? I think, yeah, Aegis. Of course, the Golem is Drake. And the Hull A is Misk. So, yeah, you have different suppliers for each of the starter ships, so that's cool. And now, of course, RSI for the Salvation. I like it as a, little ship and everything. I was just kind of thinking, now I have a, I have a Drake Vulture, as she made her little snub at Drake. Again, I like some Drake stuff, but my brother, he's a big Drake fan, so I know he probably said that and just like, sure, whatever. But I can see, I know some of my other org mates, like my org mate Ocean, who's, salvaging is one of his main things, and where he has a Vulture, but he also has the Reclaimer, which is just too big and cumbersome, and it needs a major rework. I know he got this today, and as something to try, thought of, okay, combining things, if you will. He has an M2, which I believe he said that's a placeholder for Liberator. Okay. But anyways, which is M2 M2 C2 of the Hercules series. They're large cargo holds, so you can kind of take your and it fits nicely in the hold of those Hercules ships. So I know I saw him have it in because like a Pisces will fit in it, and you could do some mining and get a number of crates, stack them up on there, and just keep going back and forth rather than having to go to an actual station or planet every time. And as far as with I have a Golem for mining. I've thought of something like that similarly, as we've talked about it before. I just don't have one of those. But I could always grind and get one in the game, because it's not that much. Or find another big ship with a well, yeah, not just a hangar hold, because like so there are other ships like again my argument Oceania has a Carrack as well as a Zeus. So there are hangars that you could put those in, but as far as unloading and everything, you want to have it somewhere where you can directly unload it to. So hence why I know the Hercules is a good choice for that as like a space taxi, if you will, carrier. But anyways, so yeah, interesting little ship. I'm interested to get my hands on it as well, just to see how it is. I mean, if it feels any different than like when I'm in my Vulture. Yeah, so I will take a look at that in a bit. So next we're gonna look at the actual ship commercial. And I love the ship commercials for the Perseus.
Captain, you better get up here.
We're picking up a distress call.
With the flight suits on.
General quarters. All hands to general quarters.
I guess what you're doing.
Down half quarter. This is on drill. General quarters. All hands to general quarters.
What?
Up and forward starboard. Down half quarter.
Feel big.
This is on drill.
Command and control, more like crowd control.
Reading multiple contacts.
Got a hammerhead, Idris, a bunch of light fighters. Oh, that rail gun, or the laser on the Idris. Wow. Wearing. Oh, wow. Jeez. Oh, the Vandal. The enemy of my enemy. I mean, yeah, we were just trying to destroy you a moment ago, but we got a bigger problem now. Alright! Yeah, like I said, I love the Star Citizen commercials in themselves. They're generally such a treat to watch. This, for lack of a word, pageantry, the real, again, the dedication to just some storytelling and detail, as well as while they're introducing these products, or whatnot. So that is our behind the chips look at the Salvation and the Perseus' actually first commercial, which I don't know if they're gonna have a commercial for this Salvation today or tomorrow. Um, like I said, sometimes they do both. Other times they do one, so or the other. So we'll see. Because again, first day of IAE out of 2 weeks. So again, I can't wait to see what we get now. Again, granted, okay, what are the other new things that we know of? Again, and I'm guessing there are going to be some surprises here or there. Um, Again, as this is RSI day, these are the ones we knew for RSI. Let me pull up the calendar quickly for IAE. Nope, I did not mean to actually load Star Citizen. Where are my games? So, home. Alrighty. Okay, schedule. Okay, so all right, so here we go. Um, so again, today was RSI. Tomorrow is Origin JumpWorks, which there's nothing that's been like leaked data mined or anything that looks like it's going to be, new. Then we have Drake Interplanetary on third day, so that's what today's, yeah, Thursday. So there's Friday, Saturday, which we know there is, as we just saw a shot there, the Clipper, and also, supposedly, well, pretty much confirmed there's and I think it's in the hall, which we'll see, the Ox, which is like a Golem variant for cargo. So we may be getting something on either of those. Okay. Then on Sunday, the Alpo, the alien ships Alpo, Banu, Asperia, and Gaddock, as well as Gray's Market. There's nothing that's been announced for any of those. Not even any speculation that I know of. But of course, all the alien ships should be on sale then as well. And again, as we have one Gray's Market ship, I mean, I think it would be interesting if maybe we do have another Gray Market ship. Then after that, we have Kruger. The day after that, Kruger, Mariah, Misk, which though we're gonna get the L-22, what's supposedly the Wolf variant. Mariah and Misk, to our knowledge, there's nothing. I mean, they could surprise, the Miska lovers with the whole B, but I mean, I don't know. Then we have, of course, the day after that's Anvil completely. Again, no. I believe for pretty much the rest of it, except for with Grey Cat, which we'll get to the next day, there weren't any other leaks found, but we'll see. So, like I said, Anvil that we know of, nothing new. Grey Cat, Argo, and Consolidated Outland Day. Grey Cat, we know there's the MDC, which is the variant of the MTC, which we saw briefly in the Perseus behind the ship. And let's see. Then, of course, last couple days we have Crusader and Tumbrel on one. I would really, really like it if they just freaking gave us the Rangers, just as a surprise. I mean, I know it's not likely, but I'm like, they're motorcycles for crying out loud, But anyways, then we got Aegis Day and Best in Show and finale. So that being said, like I said, I'm guessing we'll get at least um, either behind the ships or commercials for the ships that I mentioned that we know of from the data mines. And, again, like I said, there might be some surprises. So, anyways, I've rambled on for a bit. That is my reaction to these two Star Citizens videos. As always, feel free to share, subscribe. Hopefully, give me a like if you like my content. Those that you have subscribed to me, thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. Hit that notification button so you know when I drop something new. If you feel so inclined, leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.